Dayanim, Rabbanim, Rebbitzins, President and Trustees of the United Synagogue, the Worshipful, the Mayor of Barnet, communal leaders, the Chairman and Honorary Officers of Finchley Synagogue, Chavarei, Tnuat Bnei Akiva, ladies and gentlemen. Hodul Hashem Kitov, Ki Leolam Chasto. Zeh Hayom Asa Hashem, Nagila V'nismechavo. We gather here this evening with great pride and with much rejoicing to celebrate 75 extraordinary years of Medinat Yisrael. Baruch Hashem, Shehecheyanu, V'kiyamanu, V'higiyanu, Lazman Hazeh. At the outset, on behalf of all of our behalves, I would like to thank Her Excellency, the Ambassador of Israel, for her inspirational address this evening, and also for the outstanding manner in which she represents Medinat Yisrael here in the UK, and also for the way in which she and her staff are always going out of their way to maintain a close connection with our communities, to see what they can do for us and to strengthen our connection with Medinat Yisrael. And also, with Yom HaZikaron just having concluded, we all gather together in deep mourning for Lucy D., her daughters, Maya and Rina, Zichronam Livracha, who were so brutally murdered during Pesach, together with all victims of Kabbalah, of terror, and also all soldiers who laid down their lives al Kiddush Hashem, Ha'am v'ha'aretz, Yehi Zichram Baruch. As always, a huge Yasher Koach to the Chaverim of Bnei Akiva for staging this evening service, and we're looking forward with such anticipation to Ma'ariv and to Hallel, together with everything which the Tenuah does in order to strengthen our Jewish identity and the connection that our youth feel for Israel and for Torah values. In the hymnon of the Tenuah, we declare, Alon Na'aleh. These were the words of Kalev ben Yefuneh, one of the 12 spies, on his return from their mission to the Holy Land in response to the evil report given by 10 of the spies. Kalev said, Alon na'aleh v'yarashnu ota, let us make aliyah, let us go to our land, let us take possession of it. And bearing this in mind, I actually believe that that narrative of the Meraglim is so relevant to us right now. And in particular, it conveys 3 pertinent messages to Am Yisrael on this Yom HaAtzmaut. First of all, from this passage we learn that Eretz Yisrael is an extraordinary gift from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. As we all know, in its air you can feel the Kiddushah, the spirituality, like no other place. Its soil can miraculously produce extraordinary fruit and wonderful harvest. You know that it's a country that is different from all others. And particularly after close to 2 millennia of exile and coming so soon after the Shoah, we appreciate this outstanding gift of our country. The second message. While they were in the land, the spies were divided. And it was that division in their midst which brought about the chaos that engulfed the nation on their return. That was the division which resulted in our people having to spend 40 years in the wilderness before being able to come into our land. And Chazal go on to say that the consequences of that division were not only immediate, they lasted for centuries, to the extent that on the anniversary of the return of the spies from the land, the 9th of Av, many years later, it was internal division within Am Yisrael which caused us to lose the land. Our calendar cries out to us to notice how important Jewish unity should be for us. The key feature of the Jewish calendar is Jewish unity. The 3 weeks between Shiva Asar Tammuz and Tisha B'Av call upon us to remember the Sinat Chinam, the causeless hatred which brought about the destruction. And as Rav Kook taught, how important Ahavat Chinam should be in our midst. And right now we are in the days of the Omer. For an entire month we have national mourning in order to remember the extent to which the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva did not relate to each other with respect. They didn't learn the lessons of the fall of the temple 2 generations earlier. More than 7 weeks of the year are devoted to national mourning to convey this message to us. And not just that. We have a fast day, Tzom Gedalia, to remember the way in which Netanyah ben Yishmael assassinated a Jewish king, Gedalia ben Achikam. How many more reminders do we need about the disastrous consequences of division within our people? But we haven't yet internalized those lessons nor applied them adequately. And on the streets in Israel in the weeks leading up to the festival of Pesach, the atmosphere was awful. It was dangerous. So many of the national leaders were openly speaking chas v'shalom about civil war, and matters have not yet been satisfactorily resolved. So therefore, for the Meraglim and everything that ensued thereafter, we have a constant reminder about the critical importance of Jewish unity. Unity within the state of Israel, unity within the diaspora, and unity between the state of Israel and the diaspora. And the third message. Israel can often be misunderstood, if you give a positive edge to it, or simply misrepresented. Last Shabbat we read in Parshiot Tazria and Metzorah about the concept of nega, of a plague. And it's interesting that there are 2 words which have the same letters, nega and oneg. Nega is nun gimel ein, oneg is ein nun gimel. Nega is a plague, oneg is a pleasure. The only difference between the plague and the pleasure is where you put the eye in your eye, how you view a situation. 2 people can experience the identical phenomenon. For one person it could be a pleasure, an oneg, for the other a plague, a nega. It all depends on how they view it, what their attitude is, to what degree are they willing to open their eyes to the truth that lies in front of them. And isn't that the story of Medinat Yisrael today? Baruch Hashem, Israel is for us the most extraordinary oneg. It's not perfect. No country is perfect. But what a wonderful pleasure it is. How uplifting it is. How inspirational it is. What a great bracha it is for us, and not just for us, but for the entire world. And yet, there are so many who are so quick to denounce Israel and to declare, it's a nega, it's a plague. And often they come to this conclusion before they even know the facts. When Kalev and Yehoshua returned from their mission, they were surrounded by a negative chorus. The other Meraglim cried out and said, nega, it's a plague for us, we shouldn't be there. But they in response said, no, it's an oneg. And their words were, Tova ha'aretz me'od me'od. Not just Tova ha'aretz, this land is good. Not just Tova ha'aretz me'od, this land is very good. But Tova ha'aretz me'od me'od, this land is very, very good. Even though they were in the minority, that did not stop them from crying out and telling everyone the truth. And so too today, regardless of numbers, whether we're in the majority or the minority, we shall forever tirelessly cry out to the world and say, Israel is a place of oneg. We can rightfully be proud of all her extraordinary achievements over the past 75 years. Tova ha'aretz me'od me'od. This land is very, very good. Tonight on Yom Ha'atzmaut, we gather here to celebrate Medinat Yisrael. Our feelings of joy, the depth of our pride, transcend any considerations there might be relating to which government is in power, which minister might have a particular position, what policies there might or might not be. For us, we view 75 extraordinary years, and we know that Israel is the most marvelous gift. So therefore tonight, let us celebrate. And in learning the lessons from the Meraglim, let us ensure that we declare Alon na'aleh v'yarashnu ata. Let's make Aliyah, or visit Israel, or make the best of this extraordinary bracha. Let us ensure that we appreciate what a wonderful gift it is from God. Let us ensure that we focus on Jewish unity and strengthen the harmony and peace within our own ranks. And let us forever cry out with pride to all the world around us, regardless of what they say, this land, this state of Israel, is very, very good. Tovah haaretz, ma'od ma'od. I wish you all Chag Sameach.